Good afternoon, and you're listening to the Mee Radio Kids on 101.5 FM. Currently, the weather in the region is fine and partly cloudy, with a temperature of 20.5 degrees Celsius. We can expect a maximum of 21 degrees today, dropping to a minimum of 8 degrees tonight. Stay tuned to Moreton Bay's very own radio station over the next hour, as we'll be bringing the latest community announcements, Mount Mee State School news, as well as an interview with today's guest, Dr. David McAvoy, skydiving champion with 40 years' experience in the sport. But first, to kick off our show, we have The Doors. The time is now 1:01 p.m.
Welcome back to 101.5 FM. You are with Dale and the kids from Mount Mee State School. You just heard Love Me Twice by The Door. Today we are very fortunate to be joined by Mr. David McAvoy, skydiving master of 40 years. Welcome, Mr. McAvoy. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you for having me on your program.
Well, whereabouts did you grow up, and what sparked your love? What sparked your love in skydiving? Sorry.
I grew up in New Guinea, and I used to come down to school in Australia at boarding school, but I did a few primary years up there at a place called Madang, and then I did some secondary years in Australia at boarding school, and then my parents moved back to Australia, and that was when I was about 16. So up until I was 16, I grew up more or less in New Guinea, was where my home was. And with my love for skydiving, well, it was sparked the first time I ever did a skydive or a jump. It was fantastic, and as soon as I did my first one, I knew I was going to keep doing it, and just knew it. So basically, the idea of skydiving was mainly a bit of a dream I used to have about being able to fly around like a bird. And when I saw some skydiving, and I thought, oh, that looks just like my dream. And then when I actually did a skydive, did my first jump, I knew that the spark had been well and truly lit. How's that?
Good. Skydiving can be a dangerous sport. Have you had any problems that you discovered after you jumped, and how did you get out of the situation?
Well, yes, especially years ago when the equipment was ex-military equipment, and it was like a fairly heavy and hard to use sometimes, and sometimes things get snagged up and you think, oh, where did that come from? And you have to deal with the situation. Like sometimes, and even today, with modern parachutes, sometimes it has happened to me that things will go wrong when the parachute opens, like one of my steering controls might come off, and the parachute just surges away and steers to the right, sort of thing, and you think, oh, how can I handle this? And you just keep your cool about it and assess it. And if you can fix it, you fix it on the go. And if it comes all good within enough time and height, and if not, you just get rid of that parachute and deal with the situation and open your reserve. That's happened to me a few times, and that's why you wear two parachutes all the time, every time you jump.
Have you ever counted how many jumps you have done over your time skydiving? And do you get less nervous each time you jump?
Well, the second part of the question, do I get nervous each time I jump? I must admit, I still really do get the butterflies every time I jump. There's never a jump I've ever done where I just sit there and go, oh, ho-hum. This is all too easy. Anybody, I go... Every time, I don't get really scared, and I don't get really nervous, but I still get the feeling of, butterflies in your stomach, like it's ready for here I go again, because really the sport, it's just, once you jump out of that plane, it's like you go so fast, and if you just control that speed with the wind, it's really fantastic, so you can't help but get a little bit nervous, every time you jump, yeah. But, and I have counted my jumps, and I have lost count of them a couple of times because my logbooks once were lost, or once was lost and once was stolen, and so I haven't got a very accurate count. But I think over the years, I've been jumping for over 40 years, and I've done somewhere between, on an average, 200 to 300 jumps a year. So I reckon I've got roughly between 9 to 10,000 jumps, somewhere around 9,000 jumps.
Thanks, Mr. McAvoy.
No worries.
After the break, we will be continuing our interview with Mr. David McAvoy, a skydiver and owner of Skydiver Ramblers at Toolong.
Thank you, Dale.
We are here in the 101.5 FM studios with Mr. David McAvoy, world champion skydiver. As we promised, here are some more questions with today's guest. Have you ever skydived in other places in the world, and what does it feel like to jump out of a perfectly good aeroplane?
That's Alicia, is it?
No, that's me.
It's Grayson, beg your pardon. Baby, hey, yeah, mate, I have jumped around the world, and talking about world champions, I'm not quite a world champion. I was a runner-up at the World Championships, and that was right back in 1970, and that was in Yugoslavia. Okay? And at that World Championships, I ended up, without bragging too much, I've ended up the best of the Australian team, so that made me feel pretty good. But I didn't quite get right up there at World Championship status. Then later on in my jumping career, in 1988, our team came second at the World Championships of canopy relative work, and that was in Vichy in France. And I've also jumped in Austria and a few other places. But yeah, a few places around the world, a few competitions in America, and and actually say jumping, what's it feel like to jump out of a perfectly good aeroplane? Well, you get asked that question a lot, and it's just thrilling, like once you step out of that plane and you're like 10, 12, 14,000 feet above the ground, and that's, in today's terms, that's like 3,000 meters away. You got 60 seconds of free falling at, 120 kilometres an hour, up to 180 kilometres an hour. So, perfectly good aeroplane. I must admit it's really nice and cosy in the plane. But they're always good to jump out of because they reckon there's no such thing as a perfectly good aeroplane. There's always something wrong with one of them. But yeah, how's that?
Yeah, good. How fast are you moving when you jump out of a plane in free fall, and do you get time to take in and appreciate the view?
Well, we do free fall. The plane flies in at about 100. Well, they always measure plane speeds in knots, so it's about 100 miles per hour, which is about 180 kilometres an hour. So when we jump out of the plane, we're actually moving against the wind pretty quick, but then you start accelerating, and you get up to speeds of 160 to 170, 180 kilometres an hour. Even some people get up to 200 kilometres an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. But because we're so far above the ground, we free fall for a minute, up to a minute. And the guys that and girls that wear the wingsuits, they get to free fall for 2 minutes from the same height because they only come down as half as fast. So, so in that way, you really do get time to appreciate the view. And talking about that, not many people in the world get above, like Mount Kosciuszko's, just over 7,000 feet, and we get to jump from twice that. We jump from 14,000 feet. So, the views we get in free fall and even in the plane right up, just fantastic. And half of the good thing about skydiving is the views you get to see and really appreciate them. And the clouds, slipping by really quickly. It's like fantastic, yeah.
Have you ever had the inclination to do a skydive on the edge of the Earth's atmosphere like the Australian skydiver Felix Baumgartner? Austrian skydiver.
I think every skydiver wishes they had the opportunity that Felix had. And for sure, you know, it'd be great to be way up there. I mean, talk about the view from 14,000 feet. Imagine what the view from how high did he jump from?
Don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a lot higher than 14,000 feet.
Yeah.
I think it was like pretty close to 114,000 feet, although not quite that high either, I think. But, yeah, I think the view from up there would be fantastic. And the inclination, well, if all the equipment was tested and worked and, you know, felt fit enough, yeah, I'd love to give something like that a go. But, you know, who wouldn't? You know, any skydiver would, you know. Be fantastic. Yeah.
If people are interested in learning to skydive, what advice would you give them?
Well, if people are interested in learning, the idea is just to learn as much about it as you can, and then commit yourself to the idea, and then have a go, you know, and then just do it jump by jump. Just take it jump by jump, and try and understand the instruction you get, and comprehend it, and apply it to what you really got to do physically and mentally, because you know, skydiving, you do have to think about things, and you do have to keep, you know, control of your body and learn to relax and do all that sort of stuff. So, you know, one of the biggest bit of advice would be to, if you're going to learn to skydive, commit to it, and once you've committed to it and start, just relax about it and have fun.
Yeah, it's the most important part.
Yeah.
Join us after this short break for 10 fast facts about our guest today, David McAvoy.
Welcome back, and you're here with the kids from Mount Mee State School. And today's interview guest, Mr. McAvoy, world champion skydiver and owner of Skydive Ramblers in Toogoolawah. Here we go with 10 fast facts about our guest today. Place of birth?
Is Rabaul in New Guinea.
Favourite place to holiday?
Would be Lady Musgrave Island.
Favourite colour?
Sky blue.
Number of brothers and sisters?
I've got one brother and two sisters.
Early riser or night owl?
Oh, that depends on the moon.
Favourite TV show?
Anything David Attenborough.
Favourite actor or actress?
Sean Connery.
If you could do any job in the world, what would it be?
Working hard at taking holidays.
If you could invite anyone to dinner, who would it be?
Sean Connery.
Have you ever spent an entire day in your pyjamas?
Depends on the moon.
Thanks for joining us on the station today.
No worries. It's a pleasure, Alicia, and thanks to the whole crew, Mount Mee and Mount Mee State School, and inviting me along. It's been a real pleasure being here.
That was Mr. David McAvoy, experienced skydiving instructor on 101.5 FM. We're bringing more to the Moreton Bay region. Coming up with another hour, we have our community announcements, Mount Mee news, and a real challenge for our teacher. The time is now 1:32, and you're listening to Dale and the Mount Mee Radio Kids on 101.5 FM. It is now time for the Mount Mee Moves on the Air and community announcements. Rural Fire Services Day. Come along to Mount Mee Rural Fire Station and meet the men and women volunteers behind your local brigade, and learn how to prepare your family and home against the threat of bushfires. There is a free sausage sizzle on offer, and Blazer will have gifts for the kids. So come along to Saturday the 1st of June between 2 and 4 p.m. at the Mount Mee Fire Station on Thomas Road, Mount Mee. Mount Mee Hall is hosting the ever-popular Symphony on the Mountain on Sunday the 26th of May. Starting at 2 p.m, be sure to get your tickets early, as this event is always packed to the rafters. Come and enjoy the 40th anniversary of St. Lucan Orchestra, who will be playing a host for your best love competitions. For booking, phone K Wills on 5498 2014. Pine Rivers Festival, 18th of May to 26th of May. Various times, Moreton Bay region. The Moreton Bay region will be full of free family fun with 2 jam-packed weekends from Saturday, May the 18th, the Moreton Sunday, May 26th in 2013. The festival, the beauty of the Pine Rivers district and showcase what the Moreton Bay region has on offer. Life and Light. Brisbane-born painter and draftsman Lloyd Rees, 1895 to 1988, is one of the Australians' most recognised and awarded landscape artists. The exposition honours the important connection between Lloyd Rees and the Queensland, especially achievements throughout his long career. Date is the 27th April 2013, 15th of June 2013, at the Caboolture Region Art Gallery, 4 Hastings Street, Caboolture. The cost is free. For more details, contact the Caboolture Region at Art Gallery, phone 075433 3710. That's it for today's announcements. Keep listening to your favourite station, 101.5 FM.
It's now time for Are You Smarter Than Your Teacher? Of course we are. Every week we challenge our fantastic, intelligent and modellist teacher aide Lisa Chapman with 5 questions about an unseen topic. Today's topic is music. Good luck, Lisa. I think you need it.
Thank you, Alicia. What's the first question?
Smokey Robinson was the founder and frontman for which popular Motown group? A. The Romantics. B. The Stone Ponies. C. The Kingpins. Or D. The
I think it is actually D, The Miracles. Would I be right?
Yes, sure.
1 out of 1 so far. What's the next one, Alicia?
It's only one, though.
In what year did Bob Marley pass away from cancer? A. 1982, B. 1981, C. 1980, or D. 1979.
I'm going to guess this. I'm actually a huge Bob Marley fan. But you think I would know the date? I know it was early 80s. I'm going to say 82.
Wrong.
Oh, what was it?
1981.
Oh.
Which of the following artists did not have a hit song titled You? A. Rita College. B. Marvin Gaye. C. Crystal Gale. Or D. George Harrison.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to say George Harrison, D.
Wrong again.
Oh, wrong again. I'm not on a good roll this week. What's the next question, Alicia?
Well, the answer to 3 was Crystal Gale.
Oh, Crystal Gale. Oh, there you go.
Which band recorded a song titled .com in 1999? A. Jethro Tull. B. Moody Blues. Or C. New Radicals. And D. Styx.
I'm going to say C. New Radicals. Tell me that's right.
No.
It's not right either.
Nah.
What was? Which one was it?
Jethro Tull.
Ah, Jethro Tull. Oh, there you go. Well, I've got only 1 right so far. Give us the next one. Hopefully, I'll fare better.
In which city could you find the street names John Lennon Drive, Paul McCartney Way, and Ringo Starr Drive?
Well, I reckon since they're all from England, I'm going to say London. And London, England. Is that right?
You got one right, which was England, and the other was Liverpool.
Ah, there you go. So I got half a point. Well, hopefully you give me half a point, Grayson. What do you think?
Yeah, 1.5 points overall. That's it.
All right, 1.5 out of 5 is pathetic.
Absolutely.
I'll have to try harder next week.
Better luck next week, Lisa. Keep listening to 101.5 FM as we continue to bring more to Moreton Bay region. The time is now 1:48 p.m. and you're with Alicia on 101.5 FM. If your day isn't going well, don't worry. We will try to cheer you up with some very weird facts and beyond useless information. Here it goes. It is specifically impossible for pigs to look up into the sky. The sixth sheep's sick is said to be the toughest tongue twister in the English language. Rats multiply so quickly that in 18 months, 2 rats could have over 1 million descendants. Donkeys kill more people annually than plane crashes. American Airlines saved $40,000 in 1987 by eliminating one olive from each salad served in first class. Keep listening to 101.5 FM as we continue to bring you more to the Moreton Bay region.
Welcome back. You are listening to Grayson and the Mount Mee Radio Kids. We are taking you right through the 2 p.m. I know that you are all hanging on the edge of your seats wondering who has made it to number 1 on the ARIA charts. Well, wait no longer. In 10th this week, Waiting All Night by Rudimental featuring Ella Ira. 9th, Still Into You by Paramore. 8th, Time to Say Goodbye by Luke Kennedy. 7th, we have Can't Hold Us by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis featuring Ray Dalton. 6th is That Power by will.i.am featuring Justin Bieber. 5th is Pompeii by Bastille. 4th this week we have The Other Side by Jason Derulo. In 3rd we have Let Her Go by Passenger. Taking 2nd this week is Get Lucky by Daft Punk featuring Pharrell Williams. But taking the gold spot this week, Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke featuring T.I. and Pharrell. Well, that's what's in the charts for this week. Stay tuned to 101.5 FM and we'll be right back after these songs.
You're back with Dale and the Mount Mee Radio Kids. We are now going to give you a challenge for your brain. Here we go for today's riddle. Until I'm measured, I am not known. Yet how you miss me when I've flown. We'll be right back after these songs to give you the answer.
Sunshine, lollipops, and welcome back. The riddle for this week was: suppose there is only one barber shop in your town and employs 2 barbers. One of the barbers has a nice, nearly trimmed head of hair. The other's hair is a complete mess. Which of the 2 barbers should you go into and why? The answer is, well, since there is only 2 barbers in the town, it is safe to assume that they cut each other's hair. This being the case, you should sit down with the barber with the messy hair, because the barber with the neat hair cut his hair, making it messy. So you should sit down with the barber's messy hair who cut the naked hair's one to make it neat. Guys, thanks for tuning in to 101.5 FM for the show. From the Mount Mee Radio Kids. Remember, if you have any comments or feedback, we would love to hear about it. You can contact the 101.5 FM station through the website www.101.5fm.com.au or via email radio@101.5fm.com.au. The Mount Mee Radio Kids will be back for next week for broadcasting for an exciting show. Until then, bye from Annabelle,
Freya,
and Thomas.
See you guys.